And we see the sniper pulling back once more. Not looking good though for the Americans. This seems like their actions have lost a lot of steam. And he does not seem to be providing much support for his riflemen out on the field, which is certainly not working to his advantage. Still floating in fuel and manpower, not getting anything. Really should work towards using that a bit more. Certainly some Shermans, perhaps throwing another anti-tank gun or airborne infantry. And we see the M10 trying to move in, but caught out in the open and now being subjected to Panzerfaust and Geschützwagen fire. Not good, not good. Main gun destroyed and the engine damaged. Unfortunate destiny for this M10. Now completely in trouble, and will the Geschützwagen move in for the kill? Apparently it is trying, but this old garage is providing cover, frustrating the aim of the Geschützwagen. And there we go, the tank destroyer M10 completely blown up, a wreckage on the horizon, and another kill for this Geschützwagen in the name of the fatherland. And we see finally going for some armor assets, although still plenty of manpower to go around. Perhaps on a second Sherman later on, perhaps some infantry could certainly be useful. So perhaps an airdropped anti-tank gun, perhaps some airdropped infantry, but for some reason not putting in all of his resources to try and put up a proper flank and force against the Germans. And let's just have a look at Dows, how he's going. He's also floating manpower and fuel. This is incredible. And both does not seem to actually have anything to use them on, and we see that the German commander still has not gone for a doctrine. Bit certainly something that can be done, but although it is also at the same time a bit curious. Perhaps he's going for terror, perhaps blitzkrieg, perhaps just saving up for a Tiger of some sort, either the King Tiger or the regular Tiger 1. Sherman once more in the field, moving into the rank, and we see the M10 standing, M1, not M10, M1 standing still and not moving in to support. Certainly could be used to perhaps try and catch that Geschützwagen while the Sherman moves in from the other side. We see riflemen moving in as well, some being suppressed. And what is this? Plenty of grenadiers going out of the creek barracks, finally getting some panzer grenadiers to take the fight to the Americans. Panzerjets going out, and we also see a ridiculous amount of munitions, and a lot of it not even being used on mines or anything. Could really also have made a difference instead of letting the Americans hold. When the Americans hold the center for so long, this is certainly a bit of a mismove, I suppose, but of course the Americans themselves haven't done anything great. And where we go, Sherman trying to flank, but being caught out in the open, being heavily hit by Panzerjets fire, and the Geschützwagen again. Had that M10 one being out a bit further, it could actually have done something against the Geschützwagen. Instead, the Sherman is caught out in the open with no support at all, and is now going to be knocked out. This is a completely atrocious, and another armored loss for the Americans. Really, he should have kept that anti-tank gun somewhere closer to the front. Instead he did not, and now that Sherman is probably going to pay for it, and certainly going to be able to hold up the line. But apparently the frontal armor is providing protection against these Panzerjets equipped grenadiers, forcing them on the retreat. Bunker going up for the German troops, Puma holding the line. Only a foot grenadier team, 2 grenadier teams, and a Puma right now out. Certainly not looking good, but what is this? King Tiger, yes indeed, King Tiger. He's going terror, and he's going to call in the King Tiger, Königstiger, Tiger 2 to take the fight to the Americans and push through the currently rather weak lines with not much in terms of anti-tank or tank at all, because they keep getting blown up without any support. And certainly again, I suspect if he had kept that anti-tank gun out in the front, he certainly could have knocked that Geschützwagen out a lot faster. And there we go, Panzerfaust knocking out that Sherman. It's completely horrible. Not looking good at all for the Americans. In particular, not if that King Tiger hits the field as it does just now. King Tiger with the Porsche turret out. The King Tiger having a slightly angular in the start, but it was quickly changed because it would create some shot traps right there, deflecting the shots right into the armor. Instead, there was a much more stalwart front that was made by Henschel. The Henschel, I do believe, were also the ones that made the Tiger. Although the Porsche company also had their own design of the Tiger, they looked a lot similar, but the difference was that the Porsche Tiger was a bit longer, and the turret a bit longer forwards, and I also believe a lot more complicated. We see plenty of airborne infantry, but not in a good position, and of course no anti-tank assets to actually protect them. Certainly not looking good for the Americans. Complete disarray and no actual anti-tank to actually help them really, except this one gun. And will we see some anti-armor piercing rounds? Sadly, I can't see. It really would be nice with being able to see such details as a replay commentator, or even just some random guy watching through replays, but sadly not.
57 crew ready for orders.
But we see another anti-tank gun being dropped, but not moving forward, and nothing to actually be made to protect them. Not good, could easily end badly if someone was to make a concerted effort against it. Riflemen sneaking about in the west, and so far the Germans have managed to turn the tide and secure the central and front line areas. Nebelwerfer going in on the center, pinning the Grenadiers and possibly even the Pioneers, although they only look suppressed at the moment. Anti-tank guns still hanging back. No attempt at pushing forwards and putting a bit of pressure on this King Tiger, which is still standing around here, looking absolutely menacing. Nebelwerfer still hanging around, completely repaired but not reinforced completely. Might be advantageous, and we see Americans seizing this anti-tank gun, but it is being hit from the side, and it is once more exposing the rear side, although it looks like there's actually nothing around this time. 3rd Armored Division troops going for the central victory point, taking fire from the King Tiger, absolutely bloody, and we see Volksgrenadiers with MP40s moving in as well, going to cut down a lot of Americans. And the King Tiger scoring further kills in the name of the fatherland. Grenadiers having a bit of a party in this center, it seems, or at least near the base. Volksgrenadiers holding out, and looks like these airborne might really want to get out before they are cut down. And there we go, slaughtered, and then one more drops in, but he should also consider getting out before it's too late. And seizing the point, and is then cut down. A lot of manpower wasted on this, not good, not good. And of course no medic station to actually make at least some of it less hazardous. Not a lot of infantry left, in fact, and nothing in actually any combat worthy state. Plenty of anti-tank guns, but not in good conditions, sadly. So what could Frizzle do? He certainly seems to be moving in from the flank, but he really should try to consider moving those anti-tank guns a bit forward, or he should have done a lot longer ago, with some infantry to support and protect. But now I do believe things might be lost unless he pulls out a miracle or manages to deliver a completely devastating blow somehow to the German forces, but it does not look like it.
The Germans are after one of our munitions.
And the King Tiger is holding the center field, and there's not really much to threaten it at this moment. Volksgrenadiers going for this heavy munition, high yield munition point, but now being stopped by the riflemen. Will the Volksgrenadiers make it? Apparently so, as a Puma is moving in. Volksgrenadier pulling out his one comrade down and screaming in pain. Puma once more pulling out in safety, and what is this? A bit of fighting in the center. King Tiger trying to open fire. Anti-tank guns not doing much. Gate State Grenadiers moving in. And you see the Grenadiers moving in on the anti-tank guns. The anti-tank guns completely undefended. Grenades going off. Not killing anyone but wounded, sadly. And it's not going to look much better very soon, I suspect, as the Grenadiers are continuing their work completely undisturbed by anything. And there we go. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Puma moving in, clearing out this point as well. And we see a 3rd Sherman. Bold, daring and all that, but really he needs to be better at supporting them. Shermans were not meant to do fighting on their own, which he's certainly proven twice already, using them to be Schutzwagen and Panzerfaust.
We are losing a sector.
German pushing forward again, and it's certainly going to end up in a lot of trouble against this King Tiger. In particular with no anti-tank assets, no anti-tank guns, sticky bombs, recoilless rifles, or anything. Or any brethren to speak of, because they were blown out so quickly. Bit of fighting here. Rifleman going up against an armored car and manages to blow it up. But not a lot left, only a tank and 2 rifleman teams. The American 3rd Armored Division has suffered heavily at the hands of the Germans so far. It's not looking better, although the Germans are certainly also in a bad state. They do have the advantage in form of the King Tiger, and of course the medic station is certainly helping. In fact, recuperating some losses, giving them a fresh grenadier team to help hold the line.
Front shifting. Routes are grabbing territory from us.
Now going straight for the center once more. King Tiger rushing in. Sherman shots bouncing off. Anti-tank gun opening on the King Tiger. Sherman taking a shot right to the rear. Anti-tank gun firing away. Don't know if there's any armor-piercing rounds being used, but those could certainly have been to a great advantage. But we can only guess, I suspect. Sherman taking up a fight against these grenadiers in the northern area. A lot going down. Only one left, retreating with his Panzer Shreks. Further grenadiers attacking through the center and a big southeastern position. Riflemen moving in, veterans with 3, even certainly quite dangerous to all this German infantry, but watch this firestorm going in, clearing out the anti-tank gun and a lot of American infantry. Not good, very bloody in fact, and looks like they also managed to clear out this area. In fact, the Nebelwerfer is completely wrecked now, and the Germans have, while taking this southern victory point, while Smallfrizzle has been kept occupied. Quite nasty. And the King Tiger is still holding the center with nothing to really oppose it. Sherman backing into the enemy, a bit odd. But still not looking good. Not sure what Captain Frizzle is going to do to salvage the situation for the 3rd Armored Division. All looking very dead. Riflemen perhaps picking up a BAR, or perhaps not. That's rather their prerogative. Going on after these grenadiers with Virginity 2, taking a lot of fire from the King Tiger and pulling back. Engineers repairing the Sherman. Strategic point being seized, and the American situation has really turned around, leaving them only very little territory and a King Tiger to deal with, but nothing to actually handle it with. No M10 Shermans or anti-tank guns anymore. And the Germans are holding most of the territory.